Welcome into the latest episode of the True Tiger Insider, our latest podcast venture here at PowerMizzou.com in partnership with Every True Tiger Foundation. That is Mizzou's name, image, and likeness collective of choice. You can find out more about them at everytruetiger.org. We also have a specific fund for Power Mizzou members set up at ETTF. If you donate to that fund, we've got an initial goal set of $100,000. The people that contribute to that are going to get special access, get to do things like meet Missouri athletes, coaches, maybe even if we get that fund high enough, get access to a practice. I don't get that, but you guys can get that. So we encourage you to do that. Again, everytruetiger.org. What we do on this podcast weekly is just bring on a different Mizzou athlete. We're trying to touch a bunch of different sports. We talked to Jake Garcia a couple weeks ago, had Jocelyn Moore, who just won the SEC championship at the vault. And on the vault now, we're bringing in a guy that I'm going to guess a lot of you people know because he has been at Missouri probably longer than a lot of people you've been cheering for. Darius Robinson, Mizzou defensive tackle, our guest today. Darius, how you doing, man?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, appreciate you jumping on. So like I said, we're just going to have a conversation. We're going to jump around a little bit, but here's where we got to start, man. You are coming up on what might be the last real spring break of your life. What are you doing here next week?
Man, I'm already knowing. I'm going to be going to Montego Bay, Jamaica, starting from Monday, the 27th, all the way to the 1st of April. And I'm just so excited. I can't wait. I got on my phone every day that I look at, and that's been my spring ball, just thinking about the beach in Jamaica. But I'm just really excited to go take this trip and just get away from school and football for a little bit.
Yeah, when you walk out for the day of the spring game, and I called this winter football because this was not spring football for Missouri, but when you walk out on the day of spring ball and there's snow on the ground, I got to imagine Jamaica is a pretty good motivator.
Yeah, I woke up, I looked out my window, I seen the snow, I said, thank God, Coach G put us in the indoor.
For sure. So here's the first thing I want to ask you. You made the decision to come back to Missouri for your fifth year next season. I know a lot of fans want to know kind of what went in. First of all, what's that process like for a player going through that draft process and kind of talking to some of these pro teams? How's that work from your end?
From my end, it's a lot. As you get a lot of information, but you want to make sure you get credible information. So how it works, as soon as the season is over with, they give you a grade about what round they think you will go, all different things of those components to help you make a decision. So you get that feedback from NFL teams and agents and different things like that. So with my situation, I got my grade back between third through the fifth round. And for me, I just started to think about my whole self as my life outside of football and just being prepared for life. And I just feel like me coming back one more year will be in the best interest of me because I'll be able to, get one more great year of tape, be a part of a very special defense that we have at Missouri. I'll be able to pursue my master's because I graduated with my undergrad spring with a degree in hospitality management. So I want to own hotels and restaurants. And then I'll be able to start my master's in the summer. So I was like, yeah, this is just a huge opportunity to be prepared for life. And, the NFL is not going anywhere. They're going to get guys every year. And all I can do is just help myself and make sure Darius Robinson is in the best situation. But I'm so glad I'm able to do it here at the University of Missouri.
I know your defensive coordinator, Blake Baker, midway through last season, he was already kind of publicly saying, hey, we think if D-Rob comes back, he's got a chance to be a first rounder. I mean, is that the goal?
Yes, most definitely. For me, it's either first round or nothing. Obviously, you're blessed to go wherever you go, but I know what I came back for, and I know what I can do. So I just got to get better, just stay humble, and just get better every single day. I'm just working and working because I understand there's guys all around the country want the same things, but what am I going to do to stand out and do more and just be a great teammate and be a good player, and everything's going to take care of itself.
All right, so I want to go back and start way at the beginning with you. When do you remember how old you were when you started playing football? Like your first, whether it was Pee Wee football or whatever?
Yeah, I remember probably like 5 or 6 years old. Was playing in the. I remember I was on the D team because that's the youngest team, the D team, and the karate helmets. Because we was like flat ball, so we had the little karate helmets. And I remember I put at my house I put tape across my little karate, make it look like a visor. And I remember I got to practice. My coach told me to take it off, and that was my first moments with playing football. And then playing all little league, and then I got to about seventh, eighth grade, stopped and was just trying to play basketball. And then that was going really well, but you realize in basketball real quick, like 6'5" is just normal,
Mm-hmm.
but going. They go six, they go higher and higher, and to get scholarships way harder in basketball than football. So then my junior year of high school, I transferred to the public high school, and then I started playing football again. And then I just thank God where it's taking me to where I'm at now.
All right, so I know how these little kid football leagues work, and these places got rules, man. Like if you weigh more than 70 pounds, you don't get to carry the football and stuff. So I know now you are. I mean, anybody that sees you, the first thing they think is that's a big dude, man. So were you always a big kid? Like, did you have rules like you had to play the line or something in football growing up?
See, in Michigan, we didn't have the rule about who could carry a ball, but we had the rule about the weight limit. And I remember that was actually a really hard thing for me because I would always be so close to the thing. And I remember I used to eat oatmeal Splenda packets, and I remember I was so young and I was googling calories, how many calories to make sure I keep my weight. And I'm just thinking like, wow, this is really crazy for little league football. But I always was the really big kid, and yeah, I always stood out amongst everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you said 6'5", like playing basketball. Like, how early were you 6'5"?
Um, Probably be like my sophomore, maybe junior year of high school. You know how it is, just stay older. But I was always the tall kid, regardless, the tall kid. And yeah, about 6'5".
I'm gonna assume you could dunk. Could you dunk?
Yeah, I was definitely throwing it down, trying to tear the rim off. I remember in high school we had a practice. He told me to stop dunking on the rim because I used to just try to stop. And yeah.
What about the rest of your game? Like, was it all power, or did you like have a jump shot?
I had a little post up action, in the basket around the bucket. I played really good defense. I was grateful. I had two really good guys on my team. They ended up playing college ball. One goes to Western, and another one goes to a Division II school in Missouri, actually. And yeah, I was just glad to hang out with them and be able to just stay in shape. Really, once I realized this football, I was just staying in shape, just playing basketball with them. It was really fun.
I mean, look, you got another year. It just finished up. Coach Gates got things going pretty well, right? You had any conversations there?
Nah, not to see if I can get some rebounds. Just give me a few minutes of game, get some cardio in. But nah, our basketball team's really good. I'm really proud of the season they've had, and Kobe Brown's had a good year, a really good year. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay, so you're going to start getting hit up. Hey, Darius, you got to work on Kobe to make that same decision and come back for another year, right?
Nah, man, that's on Kobe, man. Everybody got to make decisions off the jump. I wish him the best regardless of what he does. He's a lot from Missouri.
So you went through the recruiting process. I mean, we had you listed with offers from all over the country. You visited. I mean, you went out to Syracuse and Rutgers. You visited Michigan State, Minnesota, Colorado, Missouri. What was when did you kind of first start to get those offers, and did it kind of pop on your radar? Hey, this is something I can do in college.
Yeah, honestly, so like I said, I didn't start playing football again until my junior year of high school. So after my junior year, I was like asking myself, like, dang, okay, when does these offers start coming in? Like, how does this work? And I remember it was like a month or two after the season, I didn't hear anything, like nothing. I was thinking, like maybe I'm not that good, or maybe I didn't have a good season, or what happened. And then my first offer, I'll never forget, University of Toledo. I was on a junior day. They offered me. That was my first college offer. I'll never forget that. And then, yeah, then it just blew up like crazy. All the coaches came in to see me. Because I guess that was a dead period now that I think about it. And then as soon as that was over, all the coaches started coming to see me. from my hometown and out of the state. And that's at that moment when I realized, like, wow, I can really do this. But at the same time, I knew I was so raw in the game, like, because I was, like I said, my first year. And that's why I made it very clear. Like, I told a lot of the schools, like, I have to early enroll because I knew if I came in the summer, like, I wouldn't have no chance. Because you gotta realize, like, I was playing at a really good level at Michigan, but then again, it was only my first year, so I know, like, getting stronger, like, all that, I'm way behind the curve. So
Mhm.
I just made it clear, and I definitely enjoyed my recruit process. I was able to go to a lot of nice places, see a lot of nice places, but it's crazy though. If you look at all those schools in 2019 and now, see how many of those coaches are still there. So I think that's
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk about that in a minute. Once you got to college, obviously you've been through some things, but what's something that like fans don't know about the recruiting process because they just look at this and think, man, this would be awesome to have all these coaches coming in and everybody telling me we want you to come to our school. So what's it like, kind of on your side as a 17-year-old kid trying to sort through all this and figure out who's telling you the truth?
it's hard. It has to be a hardest decision of your life because you got to figure out where do you want to go to college at, and then you got to the main thing nobody ever thinks about as a recruit. You got to look at the depth chart and see how many seniors they have, how many juniors they have, sophomores, freshmen, because it's like everybody has this dream school of where they want to be at, but if you're at a school with all sophomores and juniors, I don't think you can play for a while. So you need to, as a recruit, you need to know that. But also, I would say from a fan's perspective, that a lot of people don't see is just like the visits. Like the visits are really, really nice because that's you got to think those are your first impressions. Like the OV, really wine on you. Like literally, you're getting the best dinner, you're getting the best entertainment they got, you're getting the best of that. The photo shoots, like all that stuff is so like nice. Like the recruiter phase is nice, but then, like I said, you gotta understand the reality of your situation. Make sure you're making the best decision for you.
Do you remember on your visit to Missouri, like where they took you to eat or what they fed you?
We actually went to Glenn's Cafe. Now that I think
Okay.
about it, we went to Glenn's Cafe, and we went to CC Boilers. Those were really, really good spots, here in Como. I remember it was extremely cold outside, and I bet you couldn't guess who my host was. He's
Oh man, this is going back.
he's
Uh
O line.
O line. Okay. O line. Back shoot, 20. This would have been what, probably 2018?
Yeah, the 2018 season.
Man. I'm drawing a blank on the O line because I know that was the Drew Lock Liberty Bowl team, but I can't think who it would have been up there.
Team right now.
He's on the team?
On the team right now.
Oh man, you're putting pressure on me. It can't be Mike Maetti because no, he transferred in.
Yeah.
Who's the old guy? Xavier Delgado?
No, one more.
One more, Javon Foster.
Yes,
That's it.
Javon.
That's it. You guys were Michigan guys. I should have known that. I should have known that for sure. See, that's what they do though. They take you to CC City Broiler, and you think, man, every meal in Columbia is like this. And then you get to college, and you're a college kid, and you figure out, man, I'm not going to be able to afford to eat at CC City Broiler for 5 more years.
That's so true. That's why every time we have recruits, I try to see if I can go. I can be somebody. I want to get dinner, man. You go in there, you can eat as good as the recruits. Now that's the thing. Our day to day life, our food is pretty good at the facility. I really like our food there, and they have other options at the Maxi. So if you're at
Mhm.
stuff like that, really good in there too.
So you end up deciding on Missouri. I mean, like, what was it?
It really was a lot. The first thing that a lot of people need to know is that I really was gonna go to Michigan. The whole time I knew that's where I wanted to be at. And Michigan, like towards the end of my recruitment, like I could tell it kind of fell off on me and kind of was undecided on what they exactly wanted from me. Cause like the whole time I was D line, and then towards the end of my recruitment, they wanted me to play tight end, and I was like, cause that's the thing. My senior year, I had tape at tight end, which was really good. But at the same time, like I know I'm fresh in football, like just the transition as a whole, like, I couldn't imagine that. Cause I literally picked up tight end my senior year. And it just was a lot of uncertainty, so I just didn't feel comfortable being there, and I didn't know how comfortable they felt about me. So after I let that go, Then I just thought about all the schools that was always in contact with me, always just hitting me up, and what's the best opportunity for me. And that's thing, Coach Haley. Yeah, man, we had some good Coach Haley, Coach Afadale, Coach Ryan Walters, Coach Odom, um, Coach Hargraves. They all came to my house for a visit, and like that really changed my whole perspective about Missouri and how big the SEC is. Really, because you have to think from Michigan, all we see is Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State. But then we see the SEC logo. That's the Bama's, Georgia's, everybody. So that definitely changed my perspective and. I just really like my relationship with them, and I like the system. Like that, like I told you, they have more seniors than expected. So I knew that I would really have an opportunity, and I was able to learn. Like I was able to learn from Jordan Elliott, Kobe Whiteside, and then as the years went on, I got to playing more and more and more. And now that's the thing. I'm in a great situation. So I just knew Missouri was the one for me.
You've got to have a good Brick Haley story. Like, I would love to do a podcast with Brick Haley, but the problem is you just have to beep out the whole thing. Like there's nothing that can go on YouTube that Brick Haley's going to say.
What's a good Rick Haley story? Oh man, I remember my freshman year, we was doing a drill, and Coach Haley, everybody know he talking that lisp because he got the chewing in his mouth, and he said, like I was doing a drill and I kept messing it up, and I fell at the last rep, I fell on the ground. He said, get up, you giraffe, get up, you giraffe, and I said. Because I'm just trying to figure out. He said, "Nah, man, your new name Giraffe," and that's what he used to call me. Cause I was so clumsy. Like I was like 250, literally just falling around. Like I'm trying to do everything right, but literally my body caught up with where I was at. And man, he was a really great coach for me. Like he's honestly one of the biggest mentors. Obviously he's at a new school and stuff, so I can't reach out to him as much. But like I just like after this year of Missouri, like really keep that relationship with him because he was huge. And it really hurt me when he left. And yeah, but now he's always going to be a huge role model and mentor for me for the rest of my life.
So you came in, like you say, you're 6'5", about 245, 250. I mean, like I looked at your recruiting picture and like you're a big kid, but now like for those of you that don't know, Darius got arms about as big as your guys' legs that are watching this. So what are your first couple years on campus? Just weight room and eating nonstop?
Weight room and eating. And it was when I early enrolled, it was crazy because our strength coach, Coach Cutchlow, like he looked at me and he's like, man, you're a man child. You're a man child. But he's like, we got a lot of work to do because like I said, like the first few weeks, like, man, I couldn't push no weight. I couldn't lift no weight real. I was just eating, literally. So the weight was coming on, but not the right weight. So then as we into the system, I started getting a little bit stronger. And that's one thing I really appreciate about him was that he knew I was an early enrollee. So, like, the team expectations, everybody else expectations was set. But he knew for me to be at my best, it was different from everybody because I just had so much growth to do. And I really respect him for that. And, yeah, man, just working out, trying to just get these drills down. And then probably like after my freshman year, that's when I really started feeling more comfortable and started taking control of doing what I need to do to get better. And yeah, man, it's just been a great blessing to be here these 4 years. Staying at the top my freshman year was really, really nice. That's a nice downtown, and then I stayed off campus the rest of college. But I definitely enjoy our environment on campus and off campus.
So you mentioned your freshman year. After your freshman year, it's coaching change. What's that like from your guys' perspective? I mean, you're sitting there, you don't know what's going to happen, and obviously, I know the rules are different now than they were back then, right? You couldn't have just said, "Hey, I'm going to look somewhere else." But what is going through that like for a player? All the guys that recruited you and got you to come here now might not be here.
Yeah, as a player, it hurts. You gotta realize, like these guys, they sold you a dream. They sold you a dream. Just can't be caught up no more, and it hurts. So initially, you're very upset, and you're just trying to understand like what's next for you, and what's next for the program, and what are they looking at. Like I remember the day Coach Odom left us. Well, yeah, they sent out a teamwork saying that Coach Owen will no longer be our coach. So we really didn't even get to talk to him or have a huge message because you know how the transition goes. So we didn't even really get. So that one hurt the most, honestly, just how it happened. Like they didn't really tell us. But that's nothing to do with Coach Odom though.
Right.
But that hurt, and then just seeing all my other coaches that recruited me just trickle out through the years, it hurts as a player. But at the end of the day, you wish them the most success going forward. Like Coach Odom's doing good, UNLV, Coach Haley. You know they got a whole squad at Purdue now. They got Coach
Right.
Walton, Haley, yeah, O'Brien. They got a squad of the all Mizzou, and it's
Yeah.
just how the coaches, because the coaches is funny. They don't. I don't know if they tell the media this, but it's all like a coaches tree, and all the coaches know each other. So it's funny seeing them just literally pick up and take everybody with them, move shot, pick up, take shot, move, pick up. Like if you notice with our team, all our coaches and advisors are from Auburn.
Right.
Everybody, we got a lot of Auburn connects at Mizzou, and I just joke with them and tell them like, this is funny, but I mean, this is at the end of the day, this is business and this is college football, you know.
Right. That's whatever you go into, NFL doesn't matter, media, anything else. Hey man, it's just who you know. That's the whole thing once you get going. So then Coach Drinkwitz comes in, and I imagine he's got to recruit all you guys to convince you to stay. Right?
Yeah.
Was that a tough sell, or were you pretty in from the beginning?
I was in from the beginning because I knew I didn't have no choice. I knew I didn't want to transfer back. Or, I knew I didn't want to be anywhere else but Missouri because, like I said, I started to work on myself. Like, because I didn't feel comfortable where I was at with my game and just getting better. So I was bought in from the get go. But I've been imagining it's hard as a head coach because you really didn't recruit anybody here. So certain position groups you may look over just because the coaches bring in their own recruits. And I think a lot of people don't realize that can bring a divide in the locker room, honestly, because dang, like, does he want me here? Does he not want me here? And that's why I think you've seen we had so many transfers and so many different things happening throughout these past years. But I think at this stage of this team, everybody that wants to be here is here, and we're all connected. And I think that's the main part. People don't realize all the different people, and now I think now is locked in. Everybody that's here wants to be here and be a part of this program.
It just kind of occurred to me when you were saying that. Have you thought about how unusual you are in that in this era of transfer portal and NIL and all this stuff? You're going to spend 5 years at the same place, man. There aren't a lot of guys that do that anymore.
I'd be laughing with our coaches. I tell them I was here longer than y'all coaches combined. Literally, I've never seen it. And that's the thing. I can't wait till after my career. I would think I want to write a book about, not to write a book. I just want to get on a podcast and just tell everybody, man, like what college was like for me. Because you got to realize, I was at college, like I was just excited to just go on a visit and try to, get some gloves from a player, just try to hang out, be around everybody. Now you had a phase like these guys come on visits. They don't even appreciate the visits. They just want to how much the NIL, how much is this, how much is that. Like these guys don't even understand like how I once felt about this. So, and then you got to think I was a part of that 2020 COVID season. That's a whole that a lot of people don't know what that was like behind the scenes. That was crazy, but yeah, there's a lot going on, but. Yeah, just seeing how it's taking place from 2019 to now, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of different changes and getting used to.
So if there's one thing that, and look, I know your hope is that hey, your best day, your best memories of Missouri are still out in front of you, but if there is one thing that stands out about your career so far, I don't know if it's a game or like you mentioned that COVID season. Just when you kind of think back over the last 4 years, what's the first thing you think of?
First thing I think of, honestly, I think back to the indoor. It was Isaiah McGuire, Trajan Jeff, Martez Mitchell, Jelani Williams, Devin, Ishmael Burdine, Chris Sharon. Consistently, we was in the indoor every Friday and Saturday night at the indoor, just working out, working on our crafts, trying to get better, and just being the best friend, to be our best. And that's going to be one of my biggest memories because that was the time where you really felt like we giving our all to something and we're all pushing the same way. That's from like just a life and friendship standpoint. And then really from the season, something I'll never forget, um, Arkansas game 2020 was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable environment. I think this past year when we played Georgia at home, that probably was the most exciting game, most live game I think I've been a part of Missouri. Even though we lost, unfortunately, that environment was like, man, like Mizzou, like we gotta keep that up every weekend. And I'm telling you, like that's where people want to play at. Like people want to be like, I want to go see Mizzou because that environment was unbelievable. And yeah, I got a lot of good memories. Locker room stories. I can't tell y'all the certain things about. Just for me, I'm gonna cherish the brotherhood. Like, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of my closest friends are no longer here anymore, but I still talk to them every day, like every day. And so I'm just gonna cherish the bonds, and then this season we gotta cherish these wins because it's gonna be my last year playing college football, and we gotta find a way to win every game. But we just gotta go with the mindset every day, just getting better, and don't get ahead of ourselves, and don't think we've arrived. Because that's the main thing. Like I said, like on paper, like you gotta look at this and be like, this can be really special. But then we don't want to look down 6 months from now and be like, so what happened? Nobody wants to say, dang, we had this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, but we had this record. So I think why just winning on my mind now. I just want to finish my career as a winner and, whatever God has for us.
We'll spend a few more minutes here with Darius Robinson, and you mentioned the Georgia game. So when I had Jake Garcia on a couple weeks ago, I mean he's been on campus 2 months, something like that, and I said, where are you looking forward to playing in the SEC? And he said Georgia, and I said, well, is that because you played high school ball in Georgia and you had a Georgia offer? He said, no, that's because of last year. I mean, so that's something that at least the players are talking about this offseason, right?
We go down to Athens, it's gonna be on because I think a lot of people like that's the thing. The loser never gets credit for what they did do. But if you look over these past 2 years, the only team that's been able to play Georgia is Mizzou. Everybody else, they can't keep up with Georgia, and that's the thing. Like you seen last year, we were like this close.
Mm-hmm.
Really, after the game, we came in the locker room. Everybody took their helmet off and just sat in the locker, just contemplating like life, because it's literally like you can make it up how close we was being the number one team in the nation. And that's no disrespect to Georgia; they're a great team, but I'm telling you, like we really got it, and that's the thing I think is disappointing over my career a little bit is that you can tell like this team has it, but we just gotta learn how to win these games because these are literally like that's a life changing moment for everybody. You beat the number one team in the nation at home. So now when we go down there this year, we got one of our old teammates over there on the other side now. It's all love for him except that day. But
that's got to be kind of weird though. Like Dominic's going to play for Georgia, Trajan down at Arkansas. I mean, seeing these guys now. 5 years ago, they could have transferred, but they couldn't have transferred to somebody you were going to play next year. Is that going to be kind of weird?
it is. Especially Trajan, because that's literally my brother. Like literally. Like I talk to him every day, but I think that week I'm just gonna have to leave him alone and then we'll talk after the game. But nah, it's weird seeing all our old teammates at different spots. But like I said, at the end of the day, if you really care about people, you want the best for them. So that's the thing. I hope all of those guys succeed and have great careers. But Mizzou got to come out with a win those days. So whatever it
Yeah.
takes from.
We'll finish up with just some quick ones, mostly non-football. What do you do when you're not at the facility? I mean, you say Friday and Saturday nights. A lot of times you're in the indoor, but you can't spend every night in the indoor. So what do you do in your free time?
Man, I like to go. I lately been going to the trail with the what is the trail called that everybody
The
goes to?
MKT or the KD Trail? Yeah.
Yeah. The Rock Bridge one with the ice with the
Oh, Devil's Ice Box.
yeah, that was Icebox. I go there to get peaceful walks. I like to watch a lot of movies, a lot of stuff like that. Um, really hang out, play the game, and just travel. I've been grateful that like now that I'm older, like when we get these breaks, traveling because it's a lot of world to see, and it's like it doesn't need no justice just to go back home on spring break. There's nothing going on at home, so. experience, make more memories.
So what's the best trip you've taken? Where's the best place you've been?
When we went to Miami, it was me, Tree, Isaiah, Jaden Jernigan, Trevion Ford. Yeah, when we went to Miami, that was unbelievable. We actually was able to see the Celtics versus the Heat. It was the playoffs, so we actually seen the playoff game. I was extremely upset though because it was a blowout. So I was just thinking, man, like out of all the games, how did we see a blowout in the playoffs?
Wow.
That was,
Wow. Got to go to a playoff game.
yeah, and then and then we took a trip to Houston. It was just me, Tree, and Isaiah. We was representing Black Athlete Summit. Houston was really, really fun. Just being around all the other athletes and just hanging out in Houston. I really like that.
All right. What's your spot in Columbia? I know you said you got to go to CC's on the visit, but what's the place you guys all go to eat when you got a free minute?
Bud's Classic Barbecue.
There you
That's
go.
what you guys see. We has a lot of posts about us, and we tell him how much we appreciate him. But he has some of the best barbecue I think I ever had. But when you go in there, you gotta get the Fusion Smash Burger. Tell them you want some mango habanero wings, some fries, and then I get a Sierra Mist with a little bit of water in it because I don't need all the sugar. And that's what I go to. And I just sit down at the little bar and I watch the games, and that's just a vibe. But now Buzz set up for us.
There you go. Last thing, whenever you're done playing football, and I know you want to go to the pros and have a long career, but whenever you're done there, what are you going to be doing? Whether that's 10 years from now, whatever.
Man, really? It just depends how the league goes for me. Like, it's like if I have a short career, I could definitely see myself getting into coaching. Because I think our coaches, like, they live a pretty good life. They literally, I remember Coach Taylor, another Coach Taylor thing. I remember he told me he felt like he's never had a real job before because every day he just comes in, he does something he loves. So I can see myself getting into coaching, or I can see myself using my degree and owning a lot of real estate, like in the hospitality field, and try different businesses, stuff like that. But really, I just want to just have fun with my life and just thank God for everything and just be happy with football or without football. I just want to live that life.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot with one more. I don't care if it's a teammate or somebody you played against. Who's the best football player you've been on a field with in your college career?
Man, you got really that 2020 season. We played all draft picks when it was the SEC schedule.
That's right.
Um, I'll tell you the best player I've gone against was Landon Dickerson, number 69 for Alabama. He was the best lineman I played against. The best quarterback.
Just started in the Super Bowl for the Eagles, right?
Yeah, Landon Dickerson was the best lineman I played. I think the best quarterback. Well, I know the best receiver we played probably be George Pickens or Treylon Burks. I can tell you that off rip. Best quarterback. I mean, it would probably have to be Mac Jones right
Yeah.
now. But personally, I'm kind of a fan of Will Levis a little bit. I think he reminds me of Josh Allen a lot. Like, I remember we came out from the coin toss, and I just looked at him. I was like, yeah, this a big dude. Like, most
Yeah.
lengthy, but yeah, I'm a little bit of a fan of Will Levis. And then defense, it has to be Nick Bolt. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nobody else doing it again. It's just crazy because he's literally right down the street doing the same stuff he was doing. And, you can always respect his grind. He's a Mizzou grad and alumni. So, yeah, defense got to be Bolt.
I know Nick was in town last weekend. Did you get a chance to catch up with him?
Yeah, I got to see her. I just kept calling him the champ, the champ, the champ because, man, I just can't believe, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really hit you that your teammates are in the league until you watch the games on Sunday. Like, even when I see Isaiah, I just get a grin because, he's really in the league. He about to be in the league. And all my teammates and, I just hope more of them start coming back to see us more because I don't think they realize how much that make our day. But that's the thing, we've had so much culture changes. Like, a lot of these guys don't know each other, but I think Coach Jr. is doing a good job still emphasizing how important this brotherhood is because we got some really nice alumni, like really, really good players. Like, we see Chase Kaufman a lot. He was a great tight end here. But, yeah, we got a lot of good alumni, and I just hope I can meet as many as I can.
Yeah. See, you think you've been here a long time. I covered Chase Kaufman when he was signed at Missouri. So.
Hey.
So Darius, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking the time, and be watching your buddies at Pro Day this week, and I guess enjoy Jamaica, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, have a good one. That is Darius Robinson, Missouri defensive tackle, joining us on the True Tiger Insider, our podcast with Every True Tiger Foundation. Again, go to everytruetiger.org. You can figure out how to contribute to Mizzou's NIL efforts and collectives, and that allows players like Darius and other people who partner with them on campus to make a little bit of money outside of football, and might even help keep them here for 5 years at times. So appreciate you guys doing that. Appreciate you listening. And we're taking a week off next week because all the Mizzou athletes are scattering for spring break. So we're not making anybody interrupt their spring break for a podcast, but be back in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.